All right. Um, so VLOOKUP. So we have the VLOOKUP, we have the XLOOKUP. What are these functions? By the way, these are functions in Excel. What are these functions? Um, the lookup functions are functions used to bring, oops. So if you want to get a data related to, if you want to get a data related to a data from another data set. Okay, for example, let me just be practical. I'm sure we can see my screen. We have this data here, raw data extract. Okay, on sheet one on your sheets, the one with the green color, sheet one on your workbook. So we have raw data and we have payroll. Now, say we are working on pay reports and we want to get records of employees. Okay, in our raw data, we have um, employee ID, we have employee last name and employee first name on three different columns. But in the pay reports, we have employee ID and we have the pay. But we want to have their first name and their last name here, right? One way to do it is to go look at this 9,000, okay, 990,687, and you start scouting for it here. Oh, this is it. And then hit Brad, you copy it and paste here. Then you go next. And imagine if you're dealing with a whole lot of data sets. I mean, you can't possibly do that. So the lookup functions literally look for a similar value. Look for something similar in your data that matches with this other data you're looking up the data from and returns whatever you're looking for. It sorry, I'm doing a whole of data. You have, I don't know if I'm clear. So you have two data sets and you want to get the data and some more data or a related data to work with, as this case may be, first name and last name from another data set stored in a different database or in a different file or so. The lookup functions, VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP and the likes would do the job for you. Okay, so we'll just go on with examples. Yesterday we had, I mean, last on Sunday we had done we had looked, we had tried working with this sales and accounts data. We'll come back to it. Let's start with this today. Okay. Now, just by way of um, a refresher, the function is, of course, it starts with an equal to sign, equal to VLOOKUP. You type the VLOOKUP in your brackets. You have lookup value, you have table array, you have colon index number, and then you have range lookup. Okay, I have those here. Let me just put it in one cell using the text join function. Okay. So first we have the lookup value. How do I do this? Please, can you all see my screens? Rather my screen. And can you hear me? Just by way of a reminder, if you are not clear at any point, just raise a hand and I would be there to assist. I think I should do this here so it's closer. Okay, so in our formula, in our VLOOKUP formula, the first thing we see is the lookup value. Now the lookup value, as the case may be, is the value we want to look up, right? The value we want to look for in a particular data set, wherever it is. That's the lookup value. Now, next we have the lookup array, the table array rather. And the table array is the table we are looking up our lookup value from. So this lookup value is must be present in a column in our table array. The the column index, next is the column index. The column index is the column, the number of the column we are looking that we want to return here. So like for this, we'll be looking for the first name, and the column value for first name here is this is column 1, then this is column 2. We start counting from the column that has our lookup value, column 2, and so this is column 2. So if we're looking for first name is on column 1, 2, 3. So first name is on column 3. So the column index is column 3. Then lookup range is whether it is an exact match or approximate match. So just to further drive on this, now we have in this kind of, when it comes to lookups, we have what we call primary keys. Now the primary key is the key that is like the colon that is similar to, is a colon that exists, like unique values that exist in the table we are looking up the values from. So for this, since it's employee ID we are using to look up these values in this raw data extract table, the employee ID is the primary key. Okay? Because it is based on this employee ID, which is unique to each employer, that we will get their first names and last names. Okay, let's take up an example. Um, do we have a good number of people in the session already? I think we do. So I would want to show us something in Excel that is quite important when working with formulas. So I'll just come here. Now, when it comes to, so in working with formulas or functions, cells and all, of course, we know a cell is an intercept between a colon and a row, colon and a row, yeah. So when we're working with cells, sometimes we need to lock a particular cell. And to do that, we need to use a dollar sign. Let me go to a previous example we worked with and see where's the two, if I can fish out it, down there. Okay. Um, was it? Yeah, I think that was day three. It was on day three we. Okay. Oops, oops, sorry. Oh, it's already open. So we did something on feeding expenses, yes. In Excel, there's something called absolute referencing. I'll just type here. Absolute referencing. Yeah, so in absolute referencing simply means in layman terms, locking a cell. So you want to lock a cell, you use absolute referencing. It works with the dollar sign. Now, if you remember this data, this particular data, when we were doing the count ifs and the sum if, count if and sum if, um, okay, and then yes, the if function. The function said if this was greater than this, then bad, else good, right? Now, if we if we did that, I mean, and we dragged the colons down, like dragging it down to apply the same formula to other sheets, we're going to get wrong results for some of them. And this is because if we do not lock, how do I best explain this? We have to lock this colon, we have to lock the colon in the formula. So this colon, this cell rather, this cell is cell J10, cell J10. And if you look at the formula I used here, I had to put two dollar signs. So when we include dollar signs before, okay, within a cell, it locks the cell. So you know how J is the colon and sorry, you know how the alphabet is the colon, right? And then the number is the row. It's row 10. Applying a dollar sign to it locks it. So when you lock that cell, that formula, so when you drag it down, it does not, that particular formula does not change across board. Um, it's hard to communicate that right now, but I'm sure when we take some examples, would grasp it. Okay, so let's go back to our VLOOKUP formula, right? So the first thing we're looking at is the first name. We want to get the first name of the person with this employee ID and then the last name, and then we'll do that for everybody. So we're going to do VLOOKUP. Of course, you start with your equal to sign because I'm sure you're doing it as alongside me. You start with your VLOOKUP equal to VLOOKUP bracket. The first thing is the lookup value, right? So this is our lookup value F4. right? Then we put a comma. Now the next thing we're looking for is the table array. The table array is where is the table you are looking for this employee ID at, right? And the table is our raw data. So we highlight the table. I'm just going to highlight the whole columns since there's nothing under, right? So I just highlight the whole of this from the colon alphabets. So in the formula, it is colon A to colon C. That's where I have my table, right? Okay, I now, so that's the table array. I now put a comma and the, the next thing is the colon index number. Now, what is the number counting from the first column you're looking up? What is the number where the column you want? That's here. We want the first name. What number of the column? What number is the column that you want to return, right? So we have our first column here, column 1, column 2 is the last name, but we want the first name, and the first name is on column 3. So we're going to enter column 3 here, and then comma. After the comma, we see two options. Do we want approximate match or do we want the exact match? We want the exact match. So we're going to go for false. Oops. False and close the brackets and enter. So we see the name return Brad. If we check for 990 678 here, we would see that the first name for the number is Brad. Okay, let's try it with the second again. So equal to lookup value. We're looking up 830 385 now. We click on the cell, then we put a comma, then table array. Table falls within columns A, B, C. So A to C. Then I put my comma. The next is the column index. So the column index for first name is colon 1, colon 2, colon 3. Same colon 3, there you have the first name, so I'm going to put colon 3. And then true. Do we want approximate match or exact match? We want exact match, so I'm going to go for false. And hit the enter button. So if we check manually for 830 here, we have the first name is Prince. Let's try with the last name now. Let's check what Brad's last name is. So equal to Vlookup. What is the lookup value? The same employee ID, comma, table array, same ABC, the colon index. This time around we're looking for last name. So our last name falls under colon 1, colon 2, last name. So we're going to put 2 here. And then true or exact match. If you remember, I told you people for true is the same thing as 1, and false is the same thing as 0 in Excel, right? In Excel formulas. So add. So exact match is what we want. So that is false. I'll just click on false. I could use 0 maybe for the next one. And enter. I'll try for Prince right now for his last name. VLOOKUP, lookup value, table array, colon to exact match, and enter. Prince Williams, 830, Prince Williams. Okay. I can now drag this formula downwards, and it's going to return the names and first names and surnames, last names of everyone with the employee IDs. Okay, any questions? Have we been able to try it out? Want to hear from you. Okay, I'll just give you time to try it out. A few seconds and let's see. So can I assume we are all good? We all got it right? Oh, okay. Yinka, last name parts. Okay. If you're able to get the first name, you should be able to get the last name, but then I'll just do it. The only difference would be the colon index. So equal to Vlookup. The lookup value is the employee ID. So we're saying, hey, check this table array for this employee ID, right? And return the last name. We see that the last name is in colon B, that is the second colon. 1, 2, so 2. And then we want an exact match, so we go 0 or false, whichever one, and hit the enter button. And I'm going to show you, okay, then in the end, we can drag it down because the formulas, once we drag it down, it applies to each of the employee IDs, and we get our last names. So if it's working for you, let me know. If you're having issues, let me know. Oh, great. Thank you. So I hope I can take the silence for I got it. I take that to say yes. Okay. So now let's let's um let's move to the next sheet. So remember our last week's data, the sales data and the account managers. Okay. So let's go to the account managers and then you enter quarter one, quarter two, three, and four. Okay, I like that we all got it. Now I want people to do something, a task for me. So we have Tina Cowton. Just gonna color shade. We have Tina Cowton, we have Michael Khan, and we have, let me go for four, Natasha Song and Yeti BT. I want you to look up the values for these people from the sales data for each of the quarters first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter for each of them, these four people, and tell me their sales, average sales value. So let's have the fastest finger. I hope we're clear on the question. So I'm just going to do one for for Snackhouting equal to Vlookup. Snackhouting is the lookup value, comma. I go to my sales 2016 and I highlight everything, the table array, comma. I'm trying to get the data for quarter one, right? So that is in the second column. So I'm going to put my column index as 2 and I'm going to put, I want an exact match. So I use 0 and hit the enter button. So that is it. I'm going to do for second XLOOKUP, accounting, highlight this. So now this is column 1, 2, 3, the third column. Then, oh, see me using XLOOKUP. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm being fast on my shadow. Okay, equal VLOOKUP. This, I mean, I'm sure you have started working. Third column, 1, 2, 3. That's where you have the second quarter. Exact match is 0, bracket close. I mean, there's a faster way I could do this, but I just do this so that everybody can follow through. So third quarter is in column 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4, 0. I could literally just copy this. So for this, I could literally just make it 5 because I know that's next. And then average is equal to average of this, and I've got my answer. Oh yes, when you're done, I would want the average of all the average. Okay, so over to you. The highlighted Tina Carlton, Michael Khan, Natasha Song, and Vexibiti. I want to see their sales performance. Okay, let me put this in the dollar sign. I want to see their sales performance for the 4 quarters of the year. And then when you've put their average, the average of all of them, I want to see the average of all the averages here. Okay, so your time starts now. Fastest finger. I'll wait 2 minutes before I start mine. Oops. Okay. And please, if I'm too fast, do well to stop me, right? To tell me to slow down. Okay. Kim does not get the question. Then if you have a question, please feel free to raise your hand. Let me see. Are there hands raised up? No. Okay. Sorry, I'm using a single screen today, so it's hard for me to toggle between different apps. So just to repeat the question is to look up the sales values from this table array in the sales 2016 sheet for the highlighted names here, four names. Look up their values for the first to fourth quarter, and then I want the average of each of them, and then the average of all the averages. Yeah, for these four people. Okay, I think your hand is up. Yes, Namdi, go on. You can unmute.
Kevin,
Yeah, yeah. Hi.
please, can you zoom in? I can't see the names.
Oh, sorry. Nobody mentioned that. I hope it's better now.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. I hope the question is clear. Okay, 2 more minutes. Any answers yet? By now, people should be flooding the chat box with answers. So I want the average of the average sales of the four of them. Okay, any answers yet? Okay. I okay, we have an answer. Femi says 6,203.92 dollars. Okay, thank you, Femi. I think I'll just take two more answers before I go on. Daniel, Marion, say something.
I just am sorry. Are you saying we should look for the average of the total average?
So I'm saying you should look for the average of the average. Okay, so you find the average of each of them, right? Of each of the four people. That's
Yes.
okay. You look up their quarterly sales. You find the average of their quarterly sales, and then the total average, if that's what you want to call it. Yes, of
Okay.
these
Thank.
four guys. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I have one answer. I need more answers. Okay, I guess I'll just walk it. But then, sorry, everybody, I'm just not going to start the process again. I'm just gonna do this. Um, yeah. Yes, I mean, I can't just start entering the VLOOKUP and all that again one after the other. I mean, the whole idea of this stuff is shortcuts. So I'm sure this does the work for me. I just had to copy and paste this, Control C, okay, highlight it, Control C, copy, Control V here, Control V here, Control V here, and yeah, and I go to equal to average and just highlight these guys. All right, close it and 6,203.93. So Femi was right, Taiwo was right. There will no comma in your distance, so I'll give you -1. Yeah, I mean, it's currency. So who else was right? Can I know? I would like to know. I mean, if you were also right, the shy ones, please let me know. Okay, if you had challenges, let me know. There's so much silence today. Um, that year, if there was so much silence, it means the student didn't understand. But for me, silence is you understand. Okay, so are we clear with oops. Are we clear with VLOOKUP now? VLOOKUP with exact match. I take that as a yes. Okay, so let's move to the sheet. Example 2, VLOOKUP approximate match. By the way, just as a by way of reminding you, every session, every topic being taught is critical. It is a good to know, right? I'm not just trying to show everything in Excel. I wouldn't be able to do that. Yes, but then on need to know basis, that is what we are doing here. So it's okay if you do not grasp to have. Let me explain to you. So let's move on to example 2, the sheet called example 2, VLOOKUP approximate match. Okay. Now when Remember in our VLOOKUP function, I'll just put our grid lines. Yeah. So in the VLOOKUP function, when we do equal to VLOOKUP, um, this in this and all, let's just say this, we see approximate match and exact match. What we've been doing has been approximate match. Now we want to, so what we've been doing has been exact match. Now we want to look at approximate match, right? So most times approximate match is used when you want to categorize a range of values. Okay. Um, what do I mean? Okay. Let's look at this column A and B. Okay. We have pay minimum and we have pay band. So we have $25,000 level A, that's the band. Um, $50,000 level B, 75 level C, and on and on. Now, for approximate match, what approximate match does when you're looking up values is that it gives anything within the range set. Okay, when it's looking up values like this, anything for, using this example, anything between 25,000 and 150,000, sorry, 25,000 and 50,000, that's anything less than 50,000 is going to give you level A. So it approximates it to this. Anything between 50,000 and 75,000 is going to give you level B, and on and on. So we're going to look at that here. So the only difference, so when you want to categorize stuff, you use the approximate match. Just like back in school, or in school, different grade ranges have different grades. So you have let's say, maybe someone should help me with this. An F is below 40, right? So um, I just put some score and then grade, right? So if your score is for if your score is 0, it's an F, right? If your score is 40, it's an E. If your score is 50, I guess, it's a C. 60, a B, and 70, an A. So we'll just do the A plus A plus is oops. So let's say 80 A plus, right? Okay. So we have these. Right now, I feel like I should use this as an example first. So we have students. I just put random names. Ada, Femi. Oops. Put Taiwo. I put Jesam and Obi and Benga. Okay, and then we have their scores. And please, if your name is here, whatever score I put, if it's not good, it's not your actual score. Okay. Um, 90, um, 70. Like I'll try to like get 30. So let's say 62. What am I missing? I've done 40, 50, let's do 49. 49 falls under E. So I'll change this to 52. Okay, so these are the scores, right? So let's look at the grade. So I mean, what this approximate match in VLOOKUP helps you to, it saves you the stress of, I mean, manual stuff, and you don't have to list one here, two, three. One is F, two is F, three is this. It just does the approximate. So let's see it. So the same VLOOKUP function way equal to VLOOKUP. So we're looking up the scores now, please, not the names. So the scores, VLOOKUP 50, that is the lookup value. The table array is JK, comma, the colon index, that is the colon index number is the colon we are returning. So this is colon 1, this is colon 2. So colon 2, and then the match, is it true or is it approximate match or exact match? Is approximate match, so we go for true this time. Close the bracket and enter. That's a C. And if we drag it down, A plus, A, F, B, and E. Oh, nobody had a D. Yeah, that's nice. There's no D here. So if we notice from our distance, 52 falls under C. 52 is between 50 and 60, right? It's 50 from ranging from 50 to 59. That's how you have 52 as C. Um, Femi had 90, and it's an A plus. So anything above 8C is an A plus. Taiwo had 70, that's an A. Jesam 30. Jesam did not have 30.